Everyone's still eating. But we have a lot of wonderful things to share with you, and we want to keep our program moving. So I'm sorry to interrupt your dinner. My name is Nyla Bolas. I'm Jumpstart's president and CEO, and it is wonderful to see so many people here to celebrate with us this evening, to celebrate Greg and Franklin Templeton and Tom Brokaw and the wonderful authors we have here tonight. So thank you again for being here. You heard that this is Jumpstart's 20th anniversary year, and it has really been an incredible journey over these 20 years, a journey that was begun by 4 college students who were inspired by the idea that they could make a real difference in the lives of disadvantaged children. And that first year back in 1993, as you heard from Gordy and John, we served 15 children. And since we're talking about numbers, by this year we will have served a total of 53,000 children. So that's a big number, right? Clap. But I want you to think of this image, because numbers sometimes are hard to grasp. So think of this image. So tonight, we're all rooting for the Golden State Warriors. We're thinking about the Warriors. I hope everyone is rooting for the Golden State Warriors. I'm from Boston, so I'm focused on the Boston Bruins, and I don't know how they did tonight. Later. But in any case, so think about Oracle Arena, or the Oakland Coliseum, whatever you might call it. Think about standing center court and looking around the entire arena and seeing every single seat filled by a child whose life has been changed by Jumpstart. And then do that 3 more times. 3 more times. By next year, that image will be a reality, and that's really powerful. Here in the Bay Area, Jumpstart's Northern California region has really been a leader for the network in so many ways, a leader in growth, a leader in program innovation, a leader in family involvement, a leader in community engagement, and new partnerships. And in just the past year alone, as you heard from Gordy, we've recruited and trained nearly 300 core members, college students, who served over 1,000 children in really key communities: Bayview, Hunters Point, Visitation Valley, Mission, Haight-Ashbury, over in the East Bay, Fruitvale, West Oakland, Lower San Antonio, and also East Palo Alto. We've gone really deep in these communities, and we know that our program works because we measure everything. In this day of evaluation and data, we have lots of data, and we know it works. But we also listen to our customers, and our primary customers for Jumpstart are the children. Children like the little girl on the pledge card who Stephen Colbert was talking to in the beginning of the evening. Her name is Mona Lisa. Yes, her name is Mona Lisa. She's 4 years old. But I loved hearing recently from somebody who is a director of early childhood education in a city where we work. And she decided to go directly to those children and to ask them what they thought of our core members and our program. And you never know what kids are going to say, right? But in this case, here's what they said. They said 3 things consistently. The first thing they said is that they always show up. Number 2, they read me books and they ask me great questions. And number 3, they make me feel important. They make me feel important. That, in a nutshell, is what we do. And it seriously can mean the world for a child who is craving adult interaction or who is really struggling to master those basic language and literacy skills. Those people who always show up are our core members. They're really the heart and soul of Jumpstart's program. And they're also future leaders. That's how we need to be thinking about them. Future leaders, change makers, who are really going to revolutionize our education in this country. Whether they go on to be teachers or any other profession, what they take with them is their experience from the Jumpstart classroom and their deep commitment to early education. So I want to introduce you to one of these leaders tonight. Teresa Ramirez is completing her second year as a Jumpstart Corps member at St. Mary's College. She's remarkable. I know her story is going to inspire and move you, as it has so many of us. It is my honor and privilege to introduce to you Teresa Ramirez.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to read you my story about why Jumpstart is important to me. I come from a family that experienced homelessness and violence in the communities we lived in. When I was 15 years old, we were living in a homeless shelter in Oakland, and I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning each day to take 3 buses to get to school in San Leandro. My parents grew up living in poverty and did not have access to quality education. Neither my father nor my mother made it past their sophomore year in high school, and they were pregnant with my older sister by the time they were 17. My mother had great academic aptitude, and my father was an athlete, but they were unable to reach their true potential. They were failed by the public school system and unable to lift themselves out of poverty. I often wonder how things would have been different for my family had my parents gone to better schools. What if all low-income communities had access to high-quality education? This question is the reason that I decided to work for Jumpstart. Through Jumpstart, I have learned how essential confidence is to a child's development. This realization has been especially impactful because confidence is something that I lacked growing up as a child of poverty. I felt like neither my peers nor my teachers would understand, and I also didn't want anyone thinking badly of my family or my parents. Because of the children I work with as a Jumpstart Corps member, I can now see a new hope in my community. Sojourner was a child I worked with during my first year in Jumpstart. She was intelligent and confident, even though she was living in the same homeless shelter I had lived in with my family. Despite her family's circumstances, she was resilient. She once told me that she was named after a very brave civil rights activist named Sojourner Truth. She was proud, and I was amazed. Sojourner also had a good understanding of what she deserved. When we went to the gym one day, I heard her tell her teacher, "Teacher Karen, I thought you said we were going outside, not to the gym. I want to be outside in nature." I related to Sojourner because she experienced similar things in the same communities that I did. Her confidence inspired me, since it was something that I had lacked. What amazed me most about her was the way that she carried herself despite her difficult circumstance. Today, I choose to stand here straight and proud at what I have accomplished through education. I always knew I wanted to attend college, but it's still overwhelming and incredible to think that I will be the first person in my family to obtain a degree. I think of Sojourner, along with the other 33 children I've worked with as a Jumpstart Corps member, as perfect representations of the resilience I see in my community today. Despite Oakland's many issues, I see a beautiful, enduring, culturally and historically rich place, and a place full of hope. For some of the children that Jumpstart works with, life will continue to try them relentlessly and without reason, but with the confidence that Jumpstart inspires within them, they are given a chance to overcome these obstacles, just as I have. Thank you.
I can tell you from experience that it's not easy to stand in front of a crowd like this and tell your story and feel worthy. But you are worthy, you know that, right? You're worthy for what you've done. And Margarita, ¿dónde está tu mami? Margarita, quiero que te pares un momentico, por favor. I met Teresa and her mom, Margarita, before we did this event, a little while before. Tienes que estar muy orgullosa de tu hija. And you cannot find a woman who is more proud of what and the sacrifices that she's made to have you here today. You make her proud. You make all of us proud.
Thank you.
Yes, I know I'm such a crier. I cry all the time. Usually when you're watching me on the news, I'm crying in between the stories. It drives Raj insane. And the great Pete Wilson, who I used to anchor with at KG.